Stefania, what do we know about Goldman's hiring plans in Singapore?
Well, that's right. I mean, finally, some good news for Goldman on this side of the world compared with what's going on in the US and the high-profile exits there. So, as you say, most of these hires will be in technology. We expect there to be around 100 new staff added. We're not sure at the time frame, but we definitely expect over this year. So this will take the number of staff in Singapore to around 1,000, which, as Goldman says, is probably a record. It will be a record for the US bank here.
Yeah, and Stefania, this is a big deal, isn't it, for not just Goldman, but Singapore?
It is. I mean, it's as you say, it's a big deal for both the bank and the city, because Goldman in this region, its name for many years has been associated with the 1MDB scandal. In recent years, it's been fairly quiet in terms of activity. So this really is a sign now that the bank is coming out of this tumultuous period. And as you say, for Singapore, it's going to mean more staff in the region. And it's a further sign that Singapore is becoming really a wealth management hub. It's becoming a big hub for the international banks. And it's a further sign that perhaps these banks are shifting now from Hong Kong to Singapore, given the unrest that's been happening in Singapore. So I'd say good news for both.
Goldman's hiring, how's that fitting in with what other banks are doing here in the Lion City?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, look, Goldman isn't alone in this hiring. We saw Citigroup just this year has opened its biggest wealth management hub in Singapore. It's going to have about 300 wealth managers here. So we're really seeing Singapore coming into its own, in particular for wealth management, but also across the board for trading, for debt issuance and things. So it's really quite significant.